So I'm probably going to end up blocking you, but I did want to talk a little bit about this. And granted, I know everything that I say is going to go right over your head. I do not expect you to understand what I'm talking about at all. You're going to be extremely confused. But anyway, when I see comments like this, I'm reminded of how much heterosexual men are missing out on the full human experience. This is a woman. She is not sloppy seconds. She does not belong to a bunch of hood dudes. She is a woman, and a beautiful one at that. But because you are in a mental state, as are many men, where you see women as objects, as a used vagina or a not used vagina, you'll never know what it is to have a true connection with women. And this is not something you can fake. It's not something that anybody's going to be able to explain to you. You're just never going to have it. It's like having brain damage at a really early age. And so when you see someone like Russell Wilson, it confuses you and it enrages you because you're denying yourself your full humanity. And so when you see this man who is willing to be vulnerable in ways that scare you, the child part of your brain, the part of your brain that knows that it has been taken advantage of, the ill-advised part of your brain, the stunted growth part of your brain, the little boy calls this man a simp and uses terms like sloppy seconds because you don't know what it means to be an adult man in love with a woman. And if you ever had the chance to experience a connection with a woman that goes beyond sexual or transactional in any way, especially a woman as beautiful as Sierra, you would stumble through it so badly that you wouldn't be able to live with yourself. It would be an incredibly shameful experience for you. And you know this, and that's why you hate them. They are a reminder, especially Russell, of how remedial you are in your relationships with women because you can't connect with women, because you don't see them as women, you see them as objects. And so this huge part of your humanity that's gonna just be missing for the rest of your life, this deep gaping chasm that you're gonna try and fill with everything from male validation to schmornography, is never gonna be filled. And you will never know the joy of seeing a woman smile without the extreme shame of thinking she's laughing at you. You are always going to feel like a joke, especially around women, and that is why you're going to hate us more every day as you get older. This denial of the feminine makes you not human. Men who hate women are like boys who were raised by wolves. Forever illiterate, you will never know poetry. This kind of thinking is not sophisticated, it's backwards, it's shameful, it's sad, it's really pathetic, and it's lonely, and we can all see it. It's really sad. And so there are men who grow up and who experience the full richness and spectrum of life, and they know what it feels like to have their harmless imperfections accepted because they accept the harmless imperfections in other people, recognizing that those harmless imperfections are art. They are beauty. There are people who live their lives enjoying their full humanity so much so that it extends into divinity. And then there are people like you who are stunted, who hate girls, and who think that wrestling is real.
Shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. That's all this woman is blabbing at the mouth right now. She actually went as far as calling men remedial because they are missing out on the full experience by not dating a single mother and judging a single mother. The exact comment, if you guys can't read it, the exact comment that this guy said was, Russell may be a good man and all, but he's still getting a bunch of hood dudes sloppy seconds, which is this young lady or older lady. She makes a lot of content similar to this. So the thing is, guys, you got someone like Sierra who has a child by a self-proclaimed trapper who he's a musician, who he has several baby mamas himself. I think she was like, what, his fifth or sixth baby mama? Can't think right off top. But she's been with a lot of popular rappers. We don't know about the plain dudes that she's been with, but she's been with a lot of popular rappers from 50 Cent to Bow Wow. There's probably a few others that I'm missing out on right now. Future obviously is one that they're getting at, but this is the type of dude that she's attracted to. And Russell Wilson, who had no kids, wifed her up. So the issue specifically that men say about this, because in my opinion, and I've said this in videos in the past, that Russell Wilson is the type of man you would want your daughter to marry, right? But if he was my son, I wouldn't tell him to marry Sierra. That's just how it goes. So a man is missing out on the full experience, and he's childish and remedial because he says that he doesn't want to deal with that. A man can get the experience just by being with one woman in his life, right? He doesn't have to experience and go through all these traumas or go through the trials of being a stepdaddy when you got the father is still active in the life and things like that. It's baggage that she had when he could have just started over with a new woman and started a new family instead of a ready-made family. But that's not the case. We know that doesn't always happen. We know that we got men who have stepped up to be stepfathers for a lot of you guys out there, and they've done great jobs doing that. But men, when we say this to women, it's not a preference to date single mothers. And I'm not saying that single mothers don't get wifed up. I always tell dudes single mothers get wifed up. If you can, but I mean, get with a woman that doesn't have kids, but I understand that that's not always the case. You do have a lot of single moms out here that think that they are just as good or better than women who don't have kids. They feel like that they're just whatever. The humility is almost non-existent. So that's basically what Buddy got. Buddy ended up with a woman that has been around the industry, that he has to compare himself to. As much love as you say that you can have, and I love this woman, and we didn't do anything until after marriage. Nah, Future was making jokes. Women will try to make it seem like it's a good thing and it's Sierra's prayer and every woman should aspire to be that, which is good. Not every woman's going to end up like that. They end up with a multi-million-dollar man who's a NFL champion. It doesn't happen. So there's nothing wrong with the man's preference. It's just like for the dudes that really try to shame a woman's preference. We make videos and stuff like that. You can't really get mad at the end of the day about the type of man a woman chooses to be with. If you're not her type, if you're not her cup of tea, so be it. You move on with life. That's just what we do. We don't sit back and get all butthurt and worried and angry because a woman didn't choose us. There's so many women out there. I don't have to have that experience to know that it's not for me. I don't have to say, let me date a woman with kids to figure out if it's for me or not, when I have options. And that's one of those things that women tend to argue about, is when a man has options, but she'll say all day how many options she's got or how many dudes want to sleep with her or be with her. Yes, Sierra, she's beautiful. She had a career once upon a time, but she still has a kid. She still had a kid that she's gonna have to date people with kids. It's like forced polygamy. You still have a father there. You still can affect her mood. Happens. He can say something in the media or do something and it pisses her off, then she's all funky around the house, and that's something you got to deal with. True story, guys, and I think you guys know that. Anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit me up on Linktree to book a one-on-one with yours truly. Purchase all my books, merch, t-shirts. It helps to support the channel. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. With that being said, much blessings and abundance. Stick around for the next video that's going to pop up on the screen below. That's where I'm going to see you guys at. It's your favorite everything. This is Wisdom. I'm out of here. Peace.